And welcome back. We're picking up where we left off last time in The Long Dark, where we're playing, well, continuing to play our Interloper run, where we're currently now working on the tails. So, we just repaired in the last stream the transmitter in Forlorn Muskeg. Notice that we now have Investigate the Signal in Bleak Inlet. So tonight, in theory, we will have a guaranteed aurora. And that is, in a way, maybe an ideal time to go attempt, at least, to find the one in Orland Muskeg. Okay, so let's go through the tunnel here.
I'm gonna have to leave something behind.
Not from Bleak Inlet. So we've repaired the tower in Orland Muskeg, so now we can go find the one in Bleak Inlet. Well, let's head over to Bleak Inlet. I feel like the sensitivity is turned up more than it usually is. Or maybe I'm just twitchier today. So yeah, we got a little bit of time before that starts, as it's late afternoon. What I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to move closer to where I think it will be in Forlorn Muskeg, and we'll set up shop there. Which I think is actually fairly close to a cave, an outdoor cave. So setting up shop in that outdoor cave is probably a good place to set up shop. We're mostly full health right now, so we're not really in a rush to make the most efficient use of our recovery. So it could take a lot of short naps to pass the time just to get to the aurora quicker. Looks like I should probably also be contemplating where I'm going to get the character's next meal from. Which I suppose I do have cattails in the back, so we can just eat a couple cattails. So that's not that complicated. We're a little overweight. I suspect we're a little overweight because I've got a little bit of metal on me and a bunch of torches from disassembling fires. I have a log. Okay. That's actually a good source of more fuel time if we're going to be setting up a fire to retain our fire until it's nighttime. There's a piece of coal. There's a piece of coal. More warmth. More warmth is always good, especially when we're going into a place we know is cold. We know what Muskeg is. Chilly. Wolf hide. How's my wolf hide pants doing? Full repair, so we're not going to bother that with that right now. It may be worth taking with us when we leave. Dragging back to Mystery Lake. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, this is the first part in this 5-part recording session. Well, I say 5-part recording session.
Gear.
The Long Dark is a permadeath game, so if something goes horribly wrong and the run ends because of it, at this point we're deep enough in the game where I probably won't start over. I might, after a short break, start over with like Stalker or something like that, just to do the tails, or I'm doing 500 days in Interloper. I might be less inclined to do such aggressive exploration. But yeah, there'd definitely be a break. So I'm assuming there's 5 parts today. If you're watching on YouTube, you might be able to be a little bit cheeky and go look at the playlist in the description and see how many scheduled videos there are in the playlist. to tell if this is a five-part recording session. Because I'll probably upload them all at the same time. I just won't, you know, have them all released at the exact same time. Probably got enough food of those cattails, so I'm not going to bother grabbing a few more. Oops. Pulling the rice right now would definitely be a setback. I'm not 100% sure. It might have a little bit of frog in my throat at the moment, so hopefully the voice is sounding fine. Yeah, this is Bleak Inlet. Bleak Inlet is one of the places that's known for timber wolves. So we'll have to be a little bit careful, especially during the aurora. This corner of Bleak Inlet is usually not that bad. Usually if you're hugging the side here, the wolves stay more that area, far over there or down by the cannery and stuff like that, so you tend not to run into the wolf packs over here, but there's always the first opportunity to be wrong. But yeah, we're going to wait for the aurora. I think this is going to be the best cave to wait for it. I think the... Here, let me start the fire and I'll pull the map up and we'll see what we can see on the map. I think we've technically, via glitch, mapped where the signal will take us. Oh, and I was nice enough for myself to leave a bunch of fuel and some food, and this is where the salt is. Nice. Okay. Yeah, let's quickly get this fire going. And we do have fire starting 5 at this point in the run, so guaranteed fire start. Oh, that was really tempting fate walking around the permanent. Yeah, let's take a look at the map while we're thinking about it. So yeah, I think this hatch is the mysterious signal. We're like here. Actually, no, we're here, I think. I think that was the deer out front. I don't have a circle on me, otherwise I could check. No charcoal in there. We'll harvest some salt, because we're here, the salt's here. And we're mainly passing time right now, because we're waiting for the aurora to happen. Okay. Not planning on taking that salt with me, but making the salt pile bigger here is not a bad choice. Okay. Soup cans, non-red soup cans. We're not gonna eat the specialized food. We'll probably eat some cattails instead. That should give us enough time to wait for the aurora to start. No, I need to select those. Okay, get me that fluff. I'll eat some cattails, because this is how we're going to sustain ourselves until we get back to Mystery Lake to eat from some of the bear meat piles. Okay, we are, in theory, just waiting for the aurora. It may, because this is a different day for me. There may not be an aurora tonight, but I'm going to assume there is going to be. We're going to pass the time here until there is one. Well, until night has officially rolled around. Because my expectation is there will be one tonight. It's dusk right now, so it's not going to be right now. But if there is one tonight, then we want to take use of and take advantage of it. I suppose I should really be making water here while we're waiting to not waste the fuel that we've got on the fire. Anyway, we're basically passing time until the aurora happens. I'm pretty sure it should happen. My fire didn't keep. Huh. That's not how that was supposed to be timed out. Okay, well, we lost the fire. It should be aurora tonight once it officially starts. Starts being officially night, but officially being night and it currently being night are two different things, of course. We'll take some charcoal. So if it's not nighttime, we wouldn't be able to map. Or if it is nighttime, we wouldn't be able to map. Apparently it is nighttime, so we're able to map. So yeah, we're here. I think that's the hatch, which is where the place will be. Let's see if it's an aurora. Definitely looks like it should be. So then the question is... Yes. And yeah, I think that is the hatch. So I think a glitch allowed us to map where the hatch is early. So let's go find it, because we should be going in the right direction right now. And then we'll grab some couple cattails on the way back to the cave, leave Muskeg, or leave Bleak Inlet back to Muskeg. Oh. We're right on top of it, I think. Almost there. Okay, there we go. There's the spot found.
I might have to drop some gear.
Bunker Alpha. Rubber box. To be fair, Bunker Alpha, because we are an Interloper, should still be mostly empty. Bed. We could sleep here. Wouldn't be the worst place to sleep. Just not where we're going to sleep. Because I think we've got enough energy that it would be worth getting back to the cave. That's stored water. Actually, I'm surprised that one's portable. But I suppose that's the water to do the washing, not the water coming from the washing. Ruined candy bar in the sofa here. Industrial toilet. Again, portable. I'm surprised it's a little bit portable. That one doesn't look like it's a nice cistern, but I suppose it might be bright enough in here. It's bright enough in some spots in here without the lantern. I suspect now that we've uncovered it, we'll be able to get in here without it being an aurora. In which case, it definitely won't be bright enough in here, but... An eraser, microscope... Interview transcript 4.
Session 5, Project Medical Officer interviewing Patient 7. Let's visit the second instance again. First occurrence. What do you remember?
The sun was out, but it was cold at the river's edge. There was a group of us that day. Lots of laughing, yelling. Some were in our heads. No one was getting in the water. I guess I liked being first. I didn't even jump, just slipped in quietly away from everybody. The water was clear, but bitter cold. I thought the bottom was closer. My head went under right away. God, I was a lousy swimmer. No one noticed me struggling in the deep pool.
Carry on from where you were last session. Find the ending sequence. What do you see?
My hand reaching for a flat gray stone at the water's edge. I grabbed it. I pulled my head out of the freezing water. A breath. The sun shining through the trees. Above us was the sun out? I thought the rain. No. I don't know. That wasn't it.
Keep hold of that image. It's okay if it fades a little. Breathe. Try going again. Second instance.
Okay, that was interesting. There was no way to click out of that once I was in it. So yeah, that was a little bit of the story of what's apparently going on. Got a radio here. Got some replacement fuses if we needed them. I think at the moment we're good. At least not worth trying to haul it into Mountain Town. Simple tools, again, not worth hauling in Mountain. I'm gonna move that just so we can try to remember. Grab that where this is later. Well, next example or something. And once quick over to make sure we're not missing anything. You can see better with the lantern. No, it doesn't look missing anything. Nope. Security log 14. Anything else in here before I interact with that and get presumably locked into interaction? No.
The mine is a real shithole. If my job is to shepherd the men, then their job is to keep the roof from landing on all of us. But this week we found a decent chamber to start building Rudiger's gadget. Teams 1 and 2 are with the program, but on shaky ground. Team 3 is getting volatile again. And while it's unclear what they have planned, I've called for additional security to fly in immediately. The medical officer has been conducting alignment interviews and has made some troubling observations. I'm still considering the implications, both for the men as well as project viability. My hope is that the crew can keep their shit together long enough to finish Phase 1, and we can get out of this godforsaken place. It's starting to get to me.
Alright, we got some horror aspects coming in here. And in theory, we just completed that objective, so we've investigated the signal in Bleak Inlet. Yeah. So, next is either Mountain Town or Pleasant Valley. So yeah, if we were to come back down here, I think the only thing worth grabbing is the tools for the moment, which probably isn't worth coming down here for, specifically. So on that note, I think we've warmed back up, so let's start the process of leaving Bleak Inlet.
Something's gotta go.
Oh dear. Actually, it's gonna be faster to run back to the place we just came from. So the way to get away from these wolves is going to be to duck into loading screen. Is the safest way in the Aurora. If it wasn't Aurora, I'd probably just fight them off at the campfire, like I usually do, but... In we go. Okay, well, we're gonna have to pass some time down here to get past those wolves. Oh, I suppose I've got something I can do in the dark. You can read. So we'll read for an hour, and then see if we can get past those wolves. Actually, we'll eat through in candy bar. So the Aurora obviously hasn't passed.
Heavy.
So we might run right back into the wolves again, but we'll see. If we do run into the wolves again, and I have to run back into the thing, we'll try to sleep out the wolves. At least sleep out the Aurora. So usually if you hug in the side like this, you can get past the wolves without running into them. I just must have got unlucky. Yeah, Mystery Lake, we're going to fill ourselves up on some meat, and then we'll contemplate moving in to Mountain Town for the next repair. Probably the next part. So if you're watching on YouTube, the rest of this episode is probably going to be trying to get back out to the safety of... well, relatively safely. There's no Cumber Wolves in Forlorn Muskegon Mystery Lake. Where there are definitely some here, as we just found out an hour ago, in-game.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Okay, transition went safely. Yeah, nothing interesting in the Lost and Found. So, worth checking to make sure in case something had fallen in the Lost and Found that was interesting. So I think I have enough calories, we should be able to sleep through the night. Well, hopefully sleep through the Aurora. Whether we got enough to... well, we probably still have enough to get to full fatigue as well. We might be a little hungry come morning. Granted, we're moving for Thorn Muskeg, so it's reasonably likely we'll find some cattails, so I'm not too worried about that.
Any of this gear.
It would be a shame if we lost the well-fed bonus before having to climb into Mountain Town. Plus 5 kilograms of carrying capacity is real nice when you're climbing. Plus or minus 5 kilograms of carrying capacity is a little bit take or leave it when you're not climbing. But climbing, it's pretty valuable. And then we can dock here to get under you. I think that's the out we can see from here. Yeah. Did I leave any meat in this pile? No. So yeah, we're gonna camp out here. Torch away. Yeah, so we'll definitely be able to sleep through the night. I might be uncomfortably hungry in the morning, but we'll be able to not lose a wolf-fed bonus just sleeping. And it's now daytime, so the aurora should be gone.
I could eat a horse.
And yeah, as a statement on "I can eat a horse" means, yes, we're hungry. It's time to find some food. We're gonna eat some cattails on the way back to Mystery Lake, I'm guessing. We got some hit points to burn if we need to, so if this bad-looking weather transitions into a blizzard, we're just going to push through. Okay, here's some cattails. Let's hopefully grab one and eat it before we well fed. Trying not to eat my emergency food. If you're wondering why I'm not eating the crackers, that's carried around for emergencies, and even though I would rather not lose the well-fed bonus, this is not an emergency. In fact, arguably the rest of the cattails are emergency food as well, but I didn't want to detour to finding a food source, so it went, because the cattails are going to be more replaceable.
Can't feel my feet.
Oh, I don't like that there appears to be a wolf in our path.
So cold. Just want to lay down for a bit.
Hasn't noticed us, but I have to keep walking closer to it, so we'll see if we can get past it without it noticing us. I've got enough condition that, with our equipment, that it won't be able to kill us, but we'll eat cattails so we're not in red zone on the food. Okay, it's looking more and more like I'm not going to be able to get past that wolf. Unless I engage it in fisticuffs or threatening match. So we're going to try with the threats first. I am surprised that the wolf hasn't noticed us. You know, wolf, if you don't want to pay attention to us, we're gonna ignore you. We got better things to do than to play the game of I threaten you and you run away. Only you probably run directly into the path that I'm trying to travel via. Yeah, so next stop is Trapper's Cabin in Mystery Lake. We should have some bear meat there that we can feast upon to fill ourselves up. We'll do a little bit of inventory triage there and end the part.
Never been so hungry in my life.
And then we'll pick up the next part going into Mountain Town. We'll see how quickly we can fix the radio tower in Mountain Town. The one stopping point that might take a while is I'm not sure if it's going to need a battery. Probably needs a battery. And if it needs a battery, we're going to have a little bit of fun trying to find one in Mountain Town, because I don't really want to try to haul one up into Mountain Town. That just sounds like a pain. Okay, a little bit low on calories. I'm going to take a little bit of a detour here to see if we can find a cattail or two in the pond over here. Okay, I see a couple. Yes, we are taking a little bit of condition damage here. If you were not prepared to do any sort of recovery, it might not be the best idea to be taking this level of condition damage. Especially what we've got in inventory. We could stop and make a fire that would be warm enough to keep us warm. And make roasted pie. Right, so we've got food. It's food I don't, in the current circumstances, want to eat. And I'm not all that worried about taking condition damage because we're so close to full. And we're gonna get some back later. Because I suspect when we get into Mountain Town, the climb down, the climb up, is going to fatigue us enough that we'll want to sleep as soon as we gorge ourselves on the bear meat in the Mountain Town. Oh yeah, I'm looking at that bar and I'm already feeling that the chip damage that is 20% condition damage a second. 20 damage a second would be real rapid. 20 damage in-game hour, which I think is 5 minutes real lifetime. When you're in the normal time acceleration. I think normal time acceleration when you're in-game is like an hour or 5 minutes. I think when you're in menu, it's in non-accelerated time, so I think that's actually real time. And a hammer there if we need a hammer. That one's mostly going to get hauled out to Broken Railroad at some point. Because I think that's the one forge that I know about that doesn't have a hammer. There probably isn't one in... Well, there isn't one at Forsaken Airfield. We got a hammer, so we could definitely have one there. It would just be a bit of a haul to get it down there.
I'm gonna need to eat soon.
He's not wrong in that statement. We are going to need to eat soon. But we've got food in the pack that we can eat if we need to, and hopefully we're walking towards a bit of meat. So So, gonna postpone the in-inventory meat, or in-inventory cattails, in hopes of getting some future meat. Though if the meter gets too low, I'll probably take a moment to eat a cattail. We've been through this part fairly recently, so I do not expect there to be any birch bark. I say as I see birch bark. Thank you, game, for being nice and giving me a birch bark. But yeah, this little section here, as I always say as we come through, we're always keeping our head on the swivel to see if we see any birch bark. Birch. These birch trees, also known, I frequently say, are the birch bark trees. Yes, the birch bark trees. The trees are named after the bark, right? Not the bark named after the trees. Yes, free birch bark. Okay, I think we're going to need to eat at least one of these cattails to get to our food stockpile without losing well fed.
I need to find food.
Twitch chat is asking, do I have a favorite region? Oh, that's complicated. I like a lot of the regions. Probably thematically, while I don't spend a lot of time in it, I do like Ash Canyon quite a bit. It's a very interesting region. And not interesting in a, oh dear, it's got Timberwolves way, which is what I don't like about Bleak Inlet, for example. And I haven't been to Blacklock or any of the far territories enough to know them really well enough to rate. But we did finish up with cartographer, so the rest of Bear Island here, I have a fairly decent understanding of. Let's see if I can put my words together in a cohesive manner. So here's our moldy bear meat. Oh, of course I'm grabbing all the partials. And I think Twitch chat is agreeing with me that Ash Canyon is a nice one. I've got level 5 cooking. Yeah, we've been 226 days into the run, so yes, we have level 5 carcass harvesting, cooking, fire starting. Actually surprised we haven't got level 5 ice fishing, but level 5 archery, only level 4 mending. We have a little bit of incidental gun stuff because every once in a while, if I've just got a gun bug on me, I'll take the time to read it when we've got situations where we don't just push forward. Okay, we do want to warm up here, so let's make a fire long enough. I have no torches, do I? I have no sticks. I've got no wood. No, I've been mean to myself. I have no sticks. That's not necessarily the end of the world. Though it is a little annoying at the moment. I think we have a ruined torch outside. We just grab the ruined torch. Okay, hopefully the torch will survive the process of being, or the lit one will survive the process of one being disassembled.
Come on. Come on.
Yeah, let's make a little bit of water here while we're giving our character a nap to warm up. And this is probably a good time to put in a part break. So if you're watching on YouTube, there will be another part up tomorrow because we're going to record another 4 parts in the stream, assuming I don't die. If you're watching on YouTube or watching on Twitch, I hope you're enjoying. I'm going to take a short break just to stretch the legs and drink a little bit of tea before we get right back to recording. But with that, I wish you all the best of luck and a good time until the next part. Bye for now.